Hello, can you hear me? Hello, is there still anybody on the screen right now? Hello. Yeah, hello guys, can you hear me? Okay. For those who are new here, I'm One Piece. I go by this name on Twitter. Well, I trade primarily gold, crypto. Also trade like forex and indices a lot. Well, in this session, we're gonna focus on execution, like on normal basis, how we execute on life structure, and how do we think about it? Like, what's the main POIs which we trade on, expecting the price for reversals or anything like that. Let me see. Okay, the waiting stream is still on. I'll just remove that. Well, by the way, this is not a financial advice. I'll be sharing how I read the market and how I manage the risk, and why I skip trades which I don't like. By the way, if you're here to learn how to think and trade like a trader and not a gambler, you are in the right place. But I do warn you, my mentor is a professional gambler. It's just joking. You guys might know him. Some of you guys might know him. He goes by the name Shinigami. We call him Shin. What I've learned and practiced is all I've learned from him. His models, his trading setups, his risk management, everything. So before we talk about, yeah, hey man, before we talk about any live setups or entries, we're gonna just talk about like what's the market, like how's the market going on right now on a high time frame. For that, I'll be going only 15 minutes to 30 minutes. Okay, for now, what I can see from my end is just a range, right? Oh, we are currently in a range. We haven't broken out. Like we might break out from this range after we take out this point, right? And we see a continuation or a trend towards up. That's what I call a break. But for now, I will still say that we are currently in a range. Either it's for good or either it's for bad that we can see like live after we have some confirmations. For example, what I do believe here, if we break here at 70, right, we might see a shift of trend and go towards this value area high. If we are rejected from value area high, we can see a push back towards this high. That needs to be taken down. Like there is a lot of liquidity in this area. And if we do, we might even go towards 75, 76K and trend back towards down. This is what I'm expecting right now from the price action. But in case if we don't see a trend like this, right, and we are just accepted back in this value area, we might just see the dump back towards 63K, 62K, or even 61K. That's the extreme I would go for this. Yeah, I will be going for towards gold. I guess I've seen you somewhere. What's your name on Twitter? I might have, like seen your comments on my trades. By the way, let's just stay focused on. No, I'm not Chin. I'm not Chin. I'm One Piece. Just the stream says it's Shinies. Let me just check. Yeah, it says nothing. Okay. By the way, I'm One Piece. I'm his, like student, you can say. So you will be getting the same thing, but not exactly the same thing. Same, but different. So we'll just move on. Now, if you're accepted back in this value area, then we can see a trend shift towards 61K, 62K, or even 63K, right? Now, we'll focus on currently this mark, this specific region, this value area high, and we'll see if the current price does come here. We have, like some time, like I guess 2.5 hours for Michigan start. The main move happens in that time. New York starts in like another an hour, 1.5, right? So when the price shifts and we touch the value area, then I'll decide either we go long or short. But for now, I'm just gonna wait for my entry. Okay, this is like a P of mine, like point of interest. Let me just remove these lines. Mm, okay, I'll just remove me. I will be, like moving towards your other things. I'll just give a breakdown for the BTC first. Then we'll talk about some Ethereum setups, Solana, Doge, Wave. We talk like what do you think about Hype, XRP? I'm also talking about US Soil, USD JPY, NAS, Dixie, Euro, Silver, and then what I love the most, gold. Right, short gold. I would say like wait a bit more because I have a POI like a bit above what you might say around here. I'll just remove this region, it's already used. I have like a POI at this point where you can see a bit above something like this would be nice. I'll talk about gold later. Let's talk about BDC for a while. Now, this was a higher time frame, right? I talked about higher time frame. Now I'm gonna move on like a lower time frame thing. On a lower time frame, as I told you, there is a POI at this specific range, which is the value area high of the current range. Now, if price keeps going down and we see a break structure at this point, I will be taking an entry with my S fill right below the low. Okay, and I will be targeting this specific high, which is at 72,500. Yeah, 70 to 500. Yeah. But if you break above 70 to 500, we start to grind like trend above. We can see 7,500. Sorry, 75K. 75K touch before it falls down again. So, but in case we are accepted back and we don't see, like a continuation after accepting back into the rally area, then we might just go down. Like expecting 62, 63K, but that's just an assumption right now. Until I see a good break structure at that area and a good break, like a good displacement candle, I will not be trading that setup. Okay, now let's move on to its Ethereum. Ethereum was supposed to be the shining coin for 2026, but it just like made everyone believe that it's the shittest coin there is. Now, we'll talk about higher time frame. It tapped its all-time high in the last pump, right? And now we are back towards the point where we started, right? In such a sense that if we go below, like in 50s or 40s for BTC, there isn't much space left for Ethereum to dump, right? What the worst case scenario is it could go to zero, right? But the best case scenario, in a sense, is that we can like break this low at 1300 and get into the extreme POIs, which like have not been tapped before, right? If we see like the biggest trend there is for BTC, like towards 30K, 40K, 50K, right? I'm expecting one more breakdown on a high time frame, like something like this on daily would be really, really nice. Something like this that price tries to go up, reject from here at 75, 76K, give another breakdown. Either it just pumps from like 50K or even take out this low below, right? This low, 48K, and then pump back to its, like either 97, even 100, or even go to its ATH. But that is, like not something I can predict. If we go back to the ETH for now, but I do expect this specific weight needs to be covered before we go up, right? And in case if we go towards that weight, Ethereum will be taking out this low at 800. That is what I expect. Or this low, it will just take out this low at 1300, and we can see a grind back towards up from here. And in the next rally, we might see on Ethereum, it will be taking out its ATH or even above. We are taking out this ATH the next time we go up and even above this. Like that's something I am going with right now. So I have like some buys order below this low at 1300 or even below this low at 8800. So whenever we touch that, I'm gonna buy. I'm not gonna wait. Well, for Solana, also expect the same thing from Solana that we can go back to the ETH or even above. But the way it's dumping, like I will say like it's just like another coin like Dodge or anything else that's going down or rift, like it's back towards like even lower than where it was before. So for Ethereum, I'll just say that Ethereum is a good buy for now. Like if we go below those specific PRIs, but for Solana, it's a bit risky. But I'm gonna take that risk if I see a good continuation after we tap either 30s, 40s, or 50s on Solana, like $50, yeah, $48, like $30. It will be a good buy, but I don't find with any more prediction except to making a new ATH. Bro, it is gonna make a new ATH. We just have to wait. Like patience is the key, as they always say. patience is the key. You need to have that. For Doge, yeah, Doge looks like a good buy right now for at least a pump for like 10, 20%. Like, I'm expecting to take out at least this high before going back towards the lows. Like, this is the low that it made, right? I'm expecting this low to be taken down, but whenever, like BD starts grains down. But for now, I do expect a pump on Doge. Like, we have already pumped on BDC, right? Now we have to wait for a chop so like the altcoins can fall. There is a lag always whenever there's a pump on BTC or a dump on BTC. Now we move forwards like with it's somewhat like a dead coin. I only bought at the rig on 10th of October. I just bought like I have the low and in this right 0.11. It shows like 0.13, but my entry is like 0.11 on OKX. And currently what I'm expecting, if we don't like push up from here, then it's dead for me. I'm just gonna close it. I'm just never look back at it. I've already closed most of it at these highs 0.5, 0.6, and afterwards it's just been a down, like rally to its down, which is quite bad. For hype, I have seen many people trading hype right now. Like there are shit ton of people that are, like just getting in this coin. I'm not expecting anything big from it, but I do have POIs on this. For example, I have POIs at this specific region, 23, and even below. Like if I can see, well, I wouldn't say below because, like in a sense that if we start to, like break the lows in this type of coin, which has been like holding lows for some time, and it's a new coin, right? It's not like a very old coin. So if we don't like see any good reaction around here, I will not suggest to invest in this coin. But what I expect right now is that we can make like a higher high. Oh, sorry, a high. This high should hold. We should it's like down back towards 23, 25, 24. It would be a good buy at this point. We can expect, like a spot buy here, not, like gonna be holding if we go below $16. But if we go at 24, 23, it's gonna be like a good buy. Then we can move either towards 30s, 40s, or 50s. Afterwards, it's just, like trade, or you can say, yeah, sorry. Okay, we're gonna talk about XRP. It will clean the same idea on Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum is gonna be like a good buy, but after a certain point. Currently, yeah, with the way the market is going, I also would not suggest to get in it. But after some point, like when we can see relief in the market, then I would say that it would be a good buy because from BDC, I'm not expecting any ATH soon for a reason. We have already made ATH multiple times, like we have made ATH back. Let's see. Yeah, this was the break of ATH the first time, right? 73. Then we went for another 88 at 19. Then we went for another 88 at 124. Then we went and make another 88 at 126, near 126. Yeah, 126. But for Ethereum, we have been lagging behind a lot, right? So we have to, like keep it up with it. Even for Solana, these are like major altcoins. We have to, like be a bit more trusting with these coins specifically. Doge, with Hive, XRP. I understand these are not, like very good buys, or like they might be good buys, but they're not as strong as these coins, Ethereum and Solana. So we have to keep a watch out for these coins. Okay, we'll talk about US swap. We did see a good pump in these 2 days, like after the market opened. From the market, like went from here, yeah, it went from here to here, like 16% up already, and this is not gonna stop. There will be like a fear for this, like people are gonna fear to enter in this, but it will be outshining many commodities out there. So I'm expecting currently the market to come back in this area, 73. I'm looking for a long with as well at $70. But there is, like a POI for sure. Let me see it 4 hours. Yeah, there is a POI for sure at this area. It has already taken out the previous high, right? Now it's starting to make another, you can say higher high, and we can expect if this low does not hold, we can see a grind down at least to a 67, but not lower than this because of the current, like war and stuff. So I'm not expecting this to fall down like below 67. I'm expecting only higher position like $80 or even higher. I'm expecting even 100 from US oil, but we will see. I'm not gonna like take risks like that much. I'm just gonna scalp in this specific area. If you all guys looking for like a swing, I'll just say, like this might just be the swing for you. If we go towards 67, that is. If we go towards 67, just put your SL at 60, 61, and just go for 80s direct. But that is if it comes to 67. If it does not and it just starts to grind up, I'll leave it. Just take scalps. That is better than, like just waiting out. For USD JPY, we have already taken out this previous high, right? But the way the market is going right now and USD is pumping, I'm starting to think that we might be able to get now a downtrend, right? At least towards 154. This is what I'm currently seeing on USD JPY. I don't trade much on the USD JPY, so I'm not gonna like tell you to take a trade at that specific point. But this is what I can see right now from my perspective, right? I will be taking a trade on this, but only on my perspective. If you guys trade USD JPY, do let me know, like if this is a good POI or not. Now, we talked about BDC, right? What do you guys expect? Are you gonna expand, or are you about to rotate back to Italy? What What do you guys say? Like, what's gonna be the take on this? Anybody? You guys can hear me, right? Rejected from weekly FEG to 58K. Weekly FEG. Um, that's a fun thought. Let's see. Yeah, the same area which I'm currently looking at, 72, 76K. This one, definitely. I have currently the same idea on this. Towards 50K is a bit less. I would say like even take out 48K from us. I know like if there's gonna be a dip, I think the dip should be a good one before a good buy, right? So if you like just take out like this or even this, we can expect a good buy and like starting a good trend from there. That would be logical. But for now, yeah. So what you say that we're gonna like rotate back towards the low after expanding a bit, right? That is something I have in my mind too right now. And it's a good thing, like we should have this kind of mindset that we are about to rotate if we don't, like start expanding at this point. Because we have been seeing the price coming back towards the wall like so many times. Like if you can see the price has rejected multiple times from the value area, right? This is the first time like in weeks that we are above the range. And now if we fall back towards in it, then it's gonna be a failure, right? It's gonna be a failed pump. We just accept back in it and drop down. Okay, for a trade, let's see. Let's see. Now, I can see a bit erratic behavior on BTC at this point. Well, for people who like don't know, might have heard erotic and not erratic. Erratic is like unexpected behavior, right? So if what I think is right, we should from this FVG specifically, we should not dump it back towards like the value area high. This is what I'm expecting. So in a sense, we are currently in a bull trend, right? We might be able to just hold this. 55 level. Yeah, the same levels. We all currently have the same levels. Under 50s, right? In 50s. But again, if everybody's thinking about 50s, right? Like 55K, 58K, 59K, that's when the BTC starts to rally down, right? People are going to start to enter at 58K, then 55K. BTC is going to just do that, right? Very few people, and mostly people, if they're gonna like belonging here with a swing, they're gonna put their SL at 48K because that's low. That's the common market behavior. Like you're gonna put the SL at 48K. So you have to outsmart the market. You can put your bids at 55K, but I would not suggest putting your SL at 48K. Then you have to manage your risk and put your SL at 50, like let me just share. For example, if you are currently going for a string, right, and you have your SL at 50, like this, something like this, you have your SL at 48K, you're targeting 80K, right? This is something you might be looking for if the price touches 55K, right? What I would suggest in this scenario is putting your SL a bit wide at 38K and go for even higher, not 80s, at least 90K, right? This is a bit more logical. Put your, like, don't put everything in it, right? Put zero point 0.5 of your risk here and zero point 0.5 under this low. If you're going to risk 1%, don't just risk all here. Zero point 0.5 here, zero point 0.5 here. The entry you will be getting is around 50, 51K, right? So it would be good. This would be good for you. Nothing as well, BTC also can up 70K or more in your future. True, true. I would say that it's true. Like, for example, current market says that we should not judge value area if we are in a bullish trend, right? So if I see a break here, I might just go for a long with my SL with this. Yeah. Okay. First of all, let me explain. I'm not predicting, I'm reacting to the market. Here's what I need to see. Like for a long, I can see there is a good reaction at this point. The lows are starting to hold. If you go for 15 seconds, you will understand better, right? These are lows starting to hold, right? And there is a bit acceptance back into this specific range, this specific range. So now there is a strong displacement candle, which I can see right now on 1 minute. If I see another right candle above, it would be meaning, like this long is gonna, like go full towards TP. Even if it doesn't go towards TP, At least take out this high, right? Mm, okay. While we are taking this trade, you also have to, like, understand that what I trade is I trade with proper risk management, right? You have to notice that you have to understand this is a high volatile environment, right? Like, you can win big time in minutes and you can lose big time in minutes. So what my usual risk is about, if I have like 100K account, what I take is like $300 or $500 risk in these kind of trades, right? In a swing, if I have like a swing trade open, for example, if I took a trade, like I did share a trade on Twitter, which was this. This was a trade I traded on like Twitter live, and this was a proper trade with proper risk management for like 1% of my account, because this is like a swing trade, right? And on a swing, I had to open more because the SL is wide. Now, let's talk about the current trade. It's like a scalp. So I have traded like with minimal risk, which is like $300 of 100K account, or $500, which is like 0.3% of the account. And this is like 0.5% of the account. So in a case that this goes with what I have think, like if this goes towards TP, I would be, like making 600K, right? Or even like a bit more than that, 2.2, $600, sorry. If I go like in drawdown, like if this goes towards SL, this is within planned risk. There is no panic for me, right? I don't have to, like close the trade in between. I don't have to close the trade below before my stop loss. So I'm just gonna like stay in this trade, and I'm just gonna like wait out for a better setup the next time I go for a trade. I don't have to do range trades and anything in between. And in case if I go in profit, I have to understand that I have to, like scale out partials at different, like setup. Like for example, if we break above this, I will be scaling out some partials. Okay, and I'm gonna protect my position. And I'm just gonna let the runners breathe. For example, take out some partials here. Then if I see price getting in this POI, which is a short POI, I will be taking out major partials here, and I will put my stop loss break even and let it run towards 72,400 or even higher, whatever the price, wherever the price goes. Yeah, reacting is much better than predicting. Like I'm reacting to the current price action, which I do believe. For example, let's see here. This is the FEG, right? I can see the FEG starting to react. On 15 second, I can see there are some lows holding, right? So I'm just reacting to the current price action. I'm taking a long based on this. I can see, like a bit acceptance back up. I can see the trend shifting, which is a good thing. Okay, sorry. While we were talking about this, we forgot about gold and silver. Let's talk about silver. I'm just gonna like talk about first of all on a higher time frame. Okay, let's talk about higher time frame. Currently, the rejection previously, what we have seen, like there was a huge jump, right? Sale 64. I do believe we might be just in this range for a bit long than you think, right? Um, due to war, you guys might be thinking, okay, now, like due to war, prices mostly what silver and gold does is that rally back up. But in this case, in the current market, there is quite fear about the volatility and about the markets, right? People are starting to hedge from their positions with, um, if they have some position in dollar, EURUSD, they're gonna start hedging with silver or gold, right? And this is creating panic in the market, which you guys might have seen in the start of the week, which people were saying that it's gonna pump. It jumped like I guess like 10% or even more. Yeah, it jumped like 19% from that time, right? And still, what we are currently seeing in the market is more dump, right? I'm not gonna say that we are going back towards ATH like really soon, but we are gonna take out down this specific high or even above. The silver has a huge, like potential in this markets, but I do believe that we need to take out a bit lower PRYs. For example, I do think that the price is gonna reject from around here, right? And we can see lower PRYs tapping at like 69.71 or even like in this region, I do believe this specific low should be taken down before we move towards up. What two scenarios I do have on silver is that first scenario we go here at 68, 69, then we move towards up. Okay, this is the first scenario. The second scenario is that if we dump from here, if we do not dump from here, for example, we take out a 105 or even above. Or if we just straight down from here, we will be taking out this low and going either in this specific spot, which is at 55K, or if we don't take out that spot, we at least will take out this low, like give it like a wick, like you can say sweep of this low and then back towards up. These are the current two scenarios that I do have in mind, in which I will be investing on, like you can say in physical because I've seen this scenario before. That is why currently I'm saying that I can see some, like this buy is very old. Like I bought it back in January 2025, and I still have that silver. I bought like in very small price at that point, but I still do have it with me, and I'm gonna like sell it at $200, nothing less, nothing more. So for now, what I'm currently expecting from the market is either play out this scenario at 69, 68K or even below like 55, oh sorry, not K, 68, 69 or 55. If not, then I'm trading on daily basis on gold and silver, so I don't mind like taking scalps and like making money on it. But on a higher time frame, this is what I'm expecting. For gold specifically, um, I will say that people wish that like this is not the top. People are wishing this is not the top, but that is not in our hands. That is currently not in our hands. I do have a POI again on this, like lower. I'm expecting it to go 4,500 again. Something like this is what I'm expecting. But no, I trade mostly scalps. I'm not a swing trader. I'm just sharing with you what I like think for physical buys, like for a swing trade. This is what I think, right? This is what I'm gonna go with when the price reaches at those BOIs. But for me, I'm like a scalp trader. I mostly trade scalps. I did take like three scalps on gold in this week. First scalp. Sorry, let me just go on lower time frame. Oh, sorry, there we only have lower time frame here. The first scalp of the week I did share on my Twitter. I take a trade here with my SL at 406. I targeted this market open because like I knew the market is gonna go back up, but it should tap the market open before. I took out like 3.5 R there. then I took a loss too. It's not like I always take profits. I tried a short at here. Yeah, I remember here with my SL at this point. This is what I trade, and this is the loss I faced around here. And I did trade it again. Let me see on there. Wait, I have to see my journal. Journal. Where is the journal? Mm, okay, this was a trade here. Yeah, 45318. Yep, this here. There's 318. This is the second trade I took after it. So I trade mostly what I can see in the market happening, not what I have, like planned. So mostly I go for like scalps like this. But if I do go for swings, I do mention this is a swing trade, not a scalp trade. And this is what I'm expecting for a swing trade. Market to go like below these specific lows. These lows, take out these lows. These are like pity lows, I believe. We will be taking out these lows and going back up. This is what I'm expecting on gold. If not, again, just like silver, the POI lower is much more better, 42.44. On a high time frame, you will see. This support is what I'm expecting for a long time. The price is quite, you can say, holding up. Uh, it's quite tough for the price to go there amid this, like war tension and everything. But we will see, like what it will be doing in the current market, and that's why, like I prefer scalps more than swings because like on swing there is never a guarantee on gold or silver that this setup is gonna play out, but there is a hope, and hope always, like um you can say. It destroys your portfolio. I have a better word, but I can't see it on the screen. You might understand that. So, capital preservation is always first, right? So, if you don't have the capital to trade, you can't have, like, oh, consistency. Consistency comes with, like, coming in daily and trading it properly with respected risk. Okay. Currently, the price is moving in the direction I want it to go. So we'll just let it breathe for now. Uh, let's see what else we can talk about. Do you guys have like any coins you guys currently are invested in? Hello. Can you guys hear me? In scalping, how long makes you hold position based on market structure and time based? Based on specifically market structure. Yeah, well, not on time based. Like, sometimes only, like if there is a session changing, like, if I have a trade, like, I will show you an example. No, I would not go for hype under $10. As I said, like if hype goes under 16, that's it for me. Like, I'm not gonna like look into this coin again. Like, I'll specifically say $14, but under $10, never, never. Because there might be a good opportunity you can try, but for me, like it would be a dead coin. Um, okay, let's talk about BTC. Why I say that not time-based and more structure-based? I will show you why. Like for example, in Asia session, I took this trade. This was the NTC. This is the NTOC still, right, of the range. What I did take, I traded this in the morning. I took a trade. Let me just clear 72. Yeah, I shared in Shinikyo, like in Shin's Discord, this trade. Now, what happened? I did see a good displacement candle. You can see on like there's a good break, right? And afterwards, I went to sleep. I thought the price is just gonna go into my direction. This happened in the Asia session, the start of the Asia session, right? Price rejected back into towards the wall, right? Okay, in the value area high. It accepted back, went straight towards NPOC first of all, bounced from NPOC, and went to straight towards my SL. If I just had increased my SL just by like $1 or two, right? Like $200, I would have been looking at this profit, right? This profit. But just because, like the time was not so good, like Asia session and the start of Asia session is mostly manipulative. So what it did, it took me out, and in the London session, it started to grind up. In New York session, it started to make the move. Now we are at the current price, which is quite sad for me, by the way. I did, I wouldn't say I did not cry over it, but I did cry over it. It's very strategy, bro. Like I always go for like 2 to 3 hours in a scalp, 2 3 hours. If I can secure more, that is up to me. Like if I increase my TP and micromanage it, then yeah, there are increase. But if I just go for like quick buy and sell, I go for like at least 2 or 3 hour. Sometimes if I have increased vessel, sometimes like for example, if I was awake at that time and I saw the price grinding down, I would have increased my S, increased it till this FPG rate. My S would have been afterwards increased to 4R, right? Before it was, you can say, 7R. So yeah, this kind of thing you have to manage by yourself when you are on the charts. But this is what I go for. Students, you guys should be, like at least if you are new, if you're new and you have time, I would suggest go for at least 14 to 15 hours on the charts, please. Like that, this is building time, like this is the base building time. I have been, like on the charts in the start. I was like in customer support when I was learning this, right? I had been trading for like 3 to 4 years now, but when I was learning in the learning phase, I used to work 9 hour shift, and in that time period, I still have like, like my charts open even while I was working. When I used to come back, I still had my charts working even after like at every point of my life at that time I had my charts open, and I was like looking at charts at daily for 18 to 17 to 18 hours. I did record my like activity time at that time, and it was like 17 to 18 hours every day. Like every day I was looking at the charts, trying to learn the patterns, trying to learn the price action and everything. So in the start, there is a grind, like you have to keep grinding, but afterwards you will be seeing the results. It will, there will, like be a time when you will say, okay, my, like time that I wasted, like just by looking at charts, not doing anything else, not going out with friends, not, like, mm, you can say playing game. I did used to play games at that time, I wouldn't lie, but people usually don't. I have seen people who just, like do invested in it. But yeah, you will be, like grateful after a few more years, I will say. I wasn't profitable in my first year. I wasn't profitable in my second year. I got profitable in my third year. In the second year, it was just break even. In the first year, I was under huge losses. I was in like in my brother's stat, but it's all good now. Everything's sorted. Living a good life. Escape the metrics and everything. By the way, if you guys are looking for a shot in this specific POI, I will suggest like if the price okay, let me show this. If the price comes to this short POI and I see a rejection and a lower high formation, like if I see a lower high formation here and a momentum shift on a lower time frame, something like this here, a rejection, momentum shift, price making a lower high, I will be taking a short from here and canceling out my long. If you have, like a MCF account, they guys do let you, like hedge. You could just hedge your short with the long and take both, like profits on both of them. If the short does not work, you can close a break even. If the long does not work, you can take partials and close a break even. And again, like I will show you guys, like the discounts again. These discounts are only available while we are currently on the stream. Afterwards, they're gonna expire. So if you guys want to take advantage of it, you can take advantage of it right now while we are here. Okay, let's talk about this trade. What made this trade a good trade is that we see a break of structure. Next we see a displacement candle. This here is a displacement candle. If you just go for like 3 minutes or 5 minutes, you will be able to see. And now we see a good trend back towards up, right? We might see, like some rejections at this point, like if there are after breaking this high, but at that point we will be able to see that the price is trending up, right? Okay, people trade your USD. I have that PY up there at 1.17, which I do think that it will be fulfilling in a short period of time, like either in this week or next week. So I'll be looking for a scalp. For example, like I might, like scalp at 1.16 or even lower 1.15 for a long towards 1.175. And from there, I will be expecting back towards down. Like overall, if we talk about, I expect the price to grind down to either 1.07 or 1.05 on a higher time frame. This is quite down. Expecting, like the current market tensions, there is a huge chance we just go up towards 1.2. But again, for now, what price action, like what my market rate says that we have already, like formed a good market breaks for the short, right? And from here, we should be able to see some lower POIs before going towards up. But in a case that if we start to grind back up, it would just be like macros playing, not the main, like because for the microstructure. I do believe that we can go more down before going up. But if we start playing by macros or the war and everything, we will be seeing price, like doubling up 1.2 easy. Unless war is over, dollar is strong. Yeah, totally, totally. That is what I expect too. I have, like this POR. these two PORs marked 101.05 and 107. Whenever the price comes in that region, I might look for a shot. But for now here, it's currently quite like in this market, it's quite unpredictable. You can't just, like expect it to move the way you want it to move. So I'll just say like be more attentive in these days. There are huge chances to make money, but there are huge chances you might lose that money. If you play by the rules, stick to, like if you respect the risk and stay in discipline, you will be making money definitely in this market. Not which news. We already know like what news are gonna come. Like for example, not talking about the major news is like NFP and everything. We don't know about that. But the main news currently is what I believe is about war, right? How the current war is going, how the U.S. is sorry, fighting back, how the Iran is, like making decisions, how the Iran is, like how the Israel is making decisions. So in a sense that if Iran keeps retaliating, which I do believe it's gonna do, and I do hope so, they're gonna do. I do think that the prices for US oil is gonna touch the next levels high, like either go for 100, 150s, and even higher. This is what to be expected, right? Again, as I said, commodities are gonna like move more than you can say forex, crypto, or gold. We expected like huge pumps on silver in this week. What we got is like 4 to 5% move, sorry, 10% move one day, then another day with the same kind of move, like 10% move yesterday to its down, not up, right? So it all depends on the news, right? And how you play by the news. Like if you are expecting pump, like I know my friends, like my friends were DMing me about saying, should we buy the gold? Should we buy the gold? The market did not even start, and I was like, wait for it. Just wait for how the market is going on. They did buy the gold without, like letting me know. They were in profit for like few hours, I will say. Like when the market opened, it opened quite high. They were like around this area they bought, right? For a minute they were down. They were quite unhappy about it. That when it started to pump, they were hopeful the price is gonna go towards ATH. And the word hopeful is always scary when you're trading. So never hope, always, like react to the market, not predict. So I was expecting already. If you guys see my Twitter, let me show you what I shared on my Twitter here. For example, wait a minute. Where is my Twitter? Last week's post. Yep, that's sure. Where did it go? Oh, we can't paste it. Damn. Okay, what this is, I will show you here. This is what I said in the Twitter. The market is gonna form a high around here, I would say. And we're gonna test this low or this low upcoming weeks. Now, I knew from the start because the dump that it gave before was unreal. This dump was unreal, right? Now we can't expect the market to just go up, right? after this jump, it's not just gonna like go straight up, straight up. That is foolish. And like I'll say like too simple. If the market was that simple, everybody would be that profitable, right? It's not that simple. So it's gonna be like gonna take out liquidity. It's gonna like create tensions. It's gonna create unpredictability before moving up, right? So we are currently seeing rejection again from this FEG, which we might be able to see, like a bit more range here. If not, we can just see a dump here. Even if we go up, I'm not expecting like it making like huge, you can say, moves right now. We did got like 7 to 8% move yesterday on silver, but again, that's abnormality in for me because like I've been trading silver for a long time, and what I used to get for the max move I used to get before was like maximum 1 to 1.5% move. I've traded silver at those times. Now every day it's like 2%, 3% move, like which is crazy. 4% move is like crazy. By the way, if you guys did take this trade, for example, do take partials. As I said, securing your capital is better than wasting your capital, right? So secure your position and move on to the next, right? For now, if you are in this trade, just scalp out, seal your profits, protect your position, and let the runners breathe towards the TP. By the way, it was a good session today. We did win. This is a win. The important thing is that we followed the structure and respected the risk, right? If you're not doing this, then you are failing, even if you are winning the trades. Always, Manish, like if you are, like in the learning phase, always review your trades at the end of the day, or if you don't have time, at the end of the week. Yeah, that is what I'm giving you, man. Like review your trades. Like you have to journal your trades and review them at the end of the day or end of the week, whenever you have time. Journal. Journal is the best thing you will be, like the best advice anyone can give you right now. Journal your trades. And don't keep your goals towards a single green day. It's not one day that defines you. It's a consistency for, like months, for days, for weeks, for years. That is something that will define you, not a one day. If you have, like one good day, you don't have to, like be like, oh man, like this, what is this market? It's so easy and everything. You have to be consistently profitable throughout the month. If you are not, then you have to like look at what the mistakes you made, look out at, like where you are wrong. That's why I said review your trades, journal them, so you know like where you are wrong. This is the best advice I can give you for now, right? But I will be giving you out advices more in the future. For now, this is it for the session. I will see you guys in the next session. Do join in. Until then, stay disciplined. Don't, like overtrade or like revenge trade. These two things is gonna like raise your